Papa, was he able to say bye to you? Did he explain what was happening?
No. I asked him to please don't separate us because my little brother was crying. And seeing him cry destroyed me and made me cry too. Then I didn't see him again.
You know, I'll admit there's a lot to choose from, but if there was a single policy from the Trump administration that summed up their heartless, refuse to help, you get what you deserve approach to, well, just about everything, I would say it's the separation of migrant children from their families. And of course, they even screwed that up, making it even harder to fix what the Trump administration broke. Reunions are finally beginning to happen. We're going to share those images with you in just a moment, but we cannot ever forget how we got to this lower point. And Andrew's back now with a grim reminder.
And Rich, the voices of those kids are certainly hard to forget, and so are these images. Separated migrant children locked in mass cages, stuck in cold rooms, sleeping on cold floors, not allowed to speak with their parents or relatives, many getting sick, some dying. It was an intentional policy carried out by the Trump Department of Homeland Security and then Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen. They ramped up border enforcement, exploded the number of deportations, and yes, separated the children. We would later learn through internal administration emails that they knew their actions would damage those kids. That did not stop the policy. In fact, they expanded it. The man behind those plans was Stephen Miller, who, according to 3 former Trump officials, viewed the separations, the cruel conditions, and the damage done to those kids as a tool that would stop more migrants from coming here. In other words, the cruelty to those kids was the point of the policy. And if you needed any more of a reminder of how the Trump team viewed the children that they separated, it's this. The Trump administration lost track of the kids, hundreds of them. They didn't know where they were, how to contact them or their families. And when groups like the ACLU took the administration to court, the Trump team said essentially, if you want them found, go and find them yourselves. Rich?
Andrew, thank you. And as we mentioned, those family reunions, they are now starting to happen, albeit belatedly. There is still a long, long way to go to get them where they all should have been this whole time. But it is at least beginning with a long overdue start.
This is the moment Sandra Ortiz sees her son Brian in person for the first time in more than 3 years. And this is their very first hug. It's all happening at the very same California port of entry where they and thousands of other families just like theirs were forcibly separated under the Trump administration's policy aimed at deterring illegal immigration. Sandra, who fled Mexico in the face of threats from cartels, was deported without her son. Brian, just 15 at the time, was first sent to a shelter, then to live with older siblings in California. Now they are together again. Family members there carrying signs saying the wait was worth it. I love you.
It feels like a dream. Like I was in the car and I was just like, this is finally happening. And I'm really going to be reunified with her after all these times.
They are the first family to be reunited under the Biden administration. This video taken by advocates who helped organize the reunion. Brian, an AP student, graduated high school a year early. He speaks fluent English now. And since that day, he and his mother had just a few minutes to say goodbye, being told they would never see each other again. He has dreamed of this moment.
I was talking to her on the phone and everything, but still not making sure, like seeing her in person, being able to give her a hug and everything. It was just...
Does it feel like a dream?
Yes, it actually
End of a nightmare?
Does. Yes.
Another gut-wrenching reunion. This mother, Mabel, among the thousands of parents forcibly separated from their children under the Trump administration's zero-tolerance policy. She was deported back to Honduras without her 2 sons, Mino and Eric, 13 and 15 at the time. They stayed in the U.S. with family. But now, 3 years, 7 months, and 13 days after they last saw each other, Mabel walked into a family gathering in Philadelphia. They had no idea she would be there. For those reunited, tears of joy. This mother saying, I love you, my beautiful son.
None of those reunions would have been possible without the tireless work of the ACLU. After the break, I'm going to be speaking with their top attorney working to reunite every last separated family.